Are you home right now, Lisa?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I'm heading home right now.
What? Already?
I can already see the house. I'll be there immediately.
Now's not a really good time. I've got an online meeting coming up.
It's fine. Just do your work. I'll just come and leave without bothering you. Just leave the door unlocked, will you?
The door's already unlocked. What are you going to be doing here?
What? Isn't it obvious? I'm just coming to give you some food I cooked.
Mrs. Johnson, I appreciate the gesture, but I don't really need the food. We've already got a lot of food to eat at our house.
But I'm sure my son wants to eat his mother's food once in a while. I made a lot just so I could give you some.
You do know that I'm a food researcher, right? I make all kinds of food every day. I always serve my family the best food. So we really do have enough to eat, Mrs. Johnson.
Quit bragging. You say you're a food researcher, but you basically just do housework, right? It's not much more than being a housewife.
Actually, no. I pity my son and grandchildren for having to eat the things you make for this hobby of yours. Put yourself in their shoes for once, won't you? I don't make food as a hobby. The recipes I make have been well thought out, and I'm proud to release them to the public. It's not like I force them to eat the failures I make as well. I have confidence in every aspect of my cooking: taste, nutrition, and looks.
Well, they do look good, I guess. But there's no way that they're healthier than old-fashioned food that I make. It's food that my son has been eating since he was born, after all. Nothing tastes better than the mother's cooking.
I get it. Leave your food at our house if you wish. We'll eat it gratefully.
You should have said that at the start. You really are a strange wife.
But please don't take any food from our house, alright? You always take food to eat for dinner, don't you?
I already took some.
What? You already got here?
The food I brought is in the fridge. I took some food in return.
You didn't take the salted pork, did you?
You mean the big slab of pork? It looked like it was about to rot, so I brought it home.
I had it prepared from the day before, and we were planning on eating it tonight. It's my son's favorite, so please bring it back.
But I'm already on my way home. If you didn't want me to take it, then you should have written a note saying so. How confusing.
But didn't you just suddenly barge in?
What do you mean, barge in? I brought some food because I was worried about my son's health.
I'm grateful for the food you gave, but please don't take food from us. My son and husband always look forward to the food I make. They even ask me what's for dinner every evening.
You're saying that your food, which only looks good, is better than my cooking? Don't be ridiculous. Is it fun making fun of others' goodwill?
Mrs. Johnson, I'm going to tell you this straight. What you're doing is a nuisance. Please don't bring any of your food anymore.
What? You've got some nerve saying such things. Such a rude wife. Ungrateful, too. Remember this. I brought some meat and potatoes today.
What? You came over to our house today?
You're so careless leaving your son alone in the house.
It's fine, it's just for a short while. He's already in elementary school after all.
Your son was there, so I went in and left some food.
Didn't I tell you that it was fine if you didn't bring any more food?
Today's the last day. You tell me that my food is unwanted even when I'm bringing it out of goodwill. To be honest, you hurt my feelings, so I won't be bringing any more food.
It's fine if all you do is bring food, but I don't understand why you always have to insult my work and take home the food my family's been looking forward to.
Insult? But I've only been saying the truth. You say you're a food researcher, but that's basically just a housewife that only cooks, right?
I don't really think insulting a job like that is a good idea. If you say things like that in public, people are going to call you out.
Stop scolding me. You're just my son's wife, right?
Why not just stop doing things that will get you scolded? Oh, and about the meat and potatoes, you do know that my son and husband can't eat it, right?
Really?
There's no way you didn't know this. Oh, and I'm currently on a diet, so I won't be able to eat it either.
Don't waste the food I brought. Eat it, will you? I made a lot.
A lot?
Enjoy the flavor, okay? Someone whose job revolves around food won't just throw it out, right?
Fine, I'll eat it.
Oh, and I brought some of the soup you made with me, alright?
Again?
I'll stop bringing you food since you hate it so much. But I'll come and take some food every now and then, alright? I need to check if the food you're giving to your family is safe to eat.
What do you mean, check?
I'd hate if my son or grandson fell ill because of your cooking, you see. Take care of the meat and potatoes, okay? It's sure to be better than the food you make.
Lisa, just what are you thinking?
Andy, what's the matter?
My mother collapsed because of the food you made. What did you give her? You must have put some sort of poison in there, didn't you?
Poison?
It's the curry you made! She collapsed right after eating the curry you made. Her mouth was foaming. She hit her head and had to get stitches.
I'm pretty sure she's the one who made that.
Mother said that she was pushed by you.
So, that's how it is. Andy, that's a lie she must have told you.
A lie?
I'll show you my smartphone. So take a look at the conversations your mother and I have been having. I've never given her any of my food willingly. She always just takes the food from our fridge.
Why would she do such a thing?
She always insults my cooking. Maybe she thought just taking our food was wrong. So she always left some of her food, which we didn't ask for as well. I told her to stop, but she wouldn't.
Is this true?
Ask my husband if you want. The food he wants to eat is always taken, and in return, he's always given food he doesn't want. He's pretty unsatisfied with the whole situation as well. Now she just takes our food without giving anything, though.
But you said Mother was the one who made the curry, right?
2 days ago, Mrs. Johnson brought some meat and potatoes. But my son and husband hate it, and I'm on a diet. So my husband turned the meat and potatoes into curry so that they could eat it.
You're saying that's what Mother ate?
She must have snuck in and stole it again without knowing that it was something she made in the first place.
You guys didn't eat it?
I had a small taste, but I was fine. But it must be the curry's fault that my stomach feels strange. I'm glad I noticed before my son and husband ate it. I wonder what was in those meat and potatoes.
Did Mother know that you were the only one who could eat the meat and potatoes? I wonder if this means that she put something in it to make you sick.
That must be the case. We've had arguments over my cooking previously. This must have been her trying to get revenge.
I'm sorry. I'm ashamed of my own mother.
How is she?
She hit her head and was unconscious for a while, but she's regained consciousness and has been insulting you ever since.
Her attitude towards me has been terrible since a while back. She always insults my work. I don't know what she put in those meat and potatoes, but this is a crime, right?
Yes, it is. Quite a heavy one as well.
Why don't we meet and talk things over, Andy? I'll show you how my mother has been treating me.
Ugh, my head hurts. The doctor said that there may be after effects. That Lisa is such a bitch. I'll have George divorce her as soon as I leave the hospital.
What are you talking about, Mother? Isn't it your own fault you collapsed?
What are you talking about? It's because that bitch of a wife put some sort of poison in the curry I ate. It's her fault that...
But aren't you the one who made it? You still haven't noticed? The curry you ate was originally the meat and potatoes you gave her.
What? The meat and potatoes? You forced her to take it, right?
No one would eat it, so they turned into curry, she said. The one you stole and ate.
That was... I guess it did kind of smell like meat and potatoes.
It's so lucky that you were the one who ate it and not them. I'm glad only you were the one who got hurt.
What do you mean by that?
You know what you did was a crime, right? What if Lisa was the one who got hospitalized? Just imagining it makes me shiver.
What is it with you? Quit over-exaggerating.
But didn't you just collapse and hit your head? If it was Lisa and not you, then you truly would be the criminal.
What do you mean, criminal?
I don't know about these after effects of yours, but I know that I won't be helping you all right. I'm not even going to visit you in the hospital anymore.
You plan on leaving your mother?
Yes, goodbye.
This is Lisa. It seems you ate the curry and collapsed, and that there was foam coming out of your mouth. Just what did you put in those meat and potatoes?
You bitch. Why'd you turn the meat and potatoes into curry?
Because no one would eat it. My husband and son would eat it as long as it tasted different.
You really are bothersome.
Well, I did leave it as it was for one day, but neither my son or husband would eat it. I thought that reusing the ingredients would be better than just throwing it away. I'm so glad you stole it before anyone else could eat it.
So you didn't even eat a bit of what someone gave you as a gift?
I had a little as a taste test. My stomach felt strange after that, though. I'm thinking of going to the doctor if it gets worse.
Why didn't you eat it? I told you to eat it, alright?
And didn't I tell you that I couldn't? Did you hear a word I said?
Right? Shut up. You've insulted me again. You better get ready for when I get out of the hospital.
Shouldn't you be worrying about yourself more? It seems that Andy won't be talking to you anymore. My family plans on doing the same. I told George about what happened, and it seems he was quite disappointed in you.
What? Even George?
Anyway, Mrs. Johnson, is what you're saying about the after effects true?
Yes. The doctor said something about how there might be abnormalities in the brain. He said that there might be numbness in the feet and hands, and even memory loss later on. And you're saying that you all are going to leave me?
Yes. You no longer have any family to support you, so good luck on your own.
You wretch!
Do you still plan on taking that attitude towards me? Why don't you take a moment and think about the situation you're in? As long as I don't forgive you, there's no way your family will either.
You're telling me to apologize.
Nothing good will come if you keep taking that attitude. You'll probably never see your children ever again. Oh wait, I guess that's already guaranteed.
Don't steal my children from me.
There's something I want to ask you. Just what did you put in those meat and potatoes?
That was pesticide, but I only put a little.
But you collapsed and foamed from your mouth, so it must have been pretty strong. Anyone knows that pesticide is toxic. It would have been really bad if a child had eaten it. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I can't forgive you.
But you're the one who started it by refusing my cooking.
In my opinion, cooking is something that's supposed to make people happy. It's the central idea of my work. You have no right to go around giving people that food of yours. Please live the rest of your life alone, so that no one will have to eat your cooking ever again. After that, it seems that Mrs. Johnson was quite troubled by the aftereffects of hitting her head. Decline in language ability, numbness of the hands and feet, insomnia, and decline of vision were just some of the symptoms. It seems that she has to undergo rehabilitation. She had no family to support her, and it seems she really had to do it all by herself. But she must have lost the will, and eventually stopped going to the hospital and now just stays in her house. I sometimes meet Andy, and we get along for the most part. She's apologized to me for what her mother did, but it's not her fault. As someone whose job revolves around cooking, I can't forgive what Mrs. Johnson did. What she did was a straight crime. I, on the other hand, will continue to make food that makes people happy.
Megan, did you finish paying for the things I told you this morning? Do you mean Gracie's cell phone bill and the fee for her tutor? If so, then yeah, I did. Thanks to that, the money I work hard for at my part-time job is almost gone. What are you complaining about? That's the only reason why I allowed you to work part-time in the first place, right? Yeah, whatever. I understand. So what do you want? You didn't message me just to confirm that, did you? Oh, how did you know? A good guess. But the fact that you went to the trouble of messaging me means that you have something else you want to talk about, no? Otherwise, you wouldn't have contacted me. Yup, you got me. Well, I'll just tell you what I want. We're going on a family vacation soon, and I need you to save up the money for it. If it's a family vacation, why do I have to be the one to save up all the money for it? Also, this is the first I'm hearing of this. Well, I'm telling you now, aren't I? So don't spend the money from your little job you got today and save it, okay? Of course, you'll still have to pay your sister's bills, though. Wait a minute. This is so unfair. Don't just go deciding my money on your own. If you don't at least tell me the date for the trip, I won't be able to save anything. It's going to be on your sister's birthday. She wants to go to the spa. It's just the right gift, right? Wait, her birthday is 6 months from now. Am I seriously the only one who's going to pay for this trip? There's no way for me to save enough cash for a spa vacation for the 4 of us. Don't worry, you don't have to save for 4 people. Just enough for me, your father, and your sister. What? What about me? What do you mean? Oh, don't tell me you think you're coming with us. What do you mean? It's a family vacation, right? Obviously I'll be going too. Not to mention I'm the one paying for it. Surely you aren't serious, right? We're talking about a getaway family vacation, you know? Why do you think you deserve to go on a vacation with us? Well, yeah. I kind of did think that. I guess I misunderstood when you said it was a family trip. You only care about my talented and beautiful sister Gracie. I'm too inadequate for you guys? I totally forgot. So stupid of me. I never said those words. I may think that, but I never said that. Don't put words in my mouth. But I wouldn't say you're too far off. Your role in the house is to provide the family with money. You're not a complete failure. Your sister needs a lot of money. Your job is to provide her with it. So we need you to pull your weight and help her out. Was that the reason you let me go to high school? Because high school graduates get paid more than middle school dropouts? I have such a wonderful family, huh? You're not as bright as your sister, but you're definitely not stupid. So you could probably get into a good company, right? If you keep working part-time while doing school, then we've got no problems. Yeah, whatever you say. I'll devote myself to being your cash cow. Well, that's a given. There's no other reason why I let you stay in our house. You don't have to remind me. I'll save up the money for your family vacation. But I'll have to start a new part-time job for a short while. So you'll have to sign an application to submit to the school for me. Why? Didn't we already submit one before for part-time work? Besides, wouldn't your savings be enough to pay for this trip? I'm telling you this because my savings and my current job are not enough. Also, I have to apply again to start a new part-time job. I know it's a pain, but all you have to do is sign it. Please, if you don't, I won't be able to save up enough. Well, if that's how it is, I guess I've got to. I'll sign it for you, and when you get the application, give it to me. You quickly forget anything if it has something to do with me. Thanks, though. I could print out the form I need, so please sign it whenever you can. I'll bring the application as soon as possible. Yeah, whatever. I don't need you telling me what to do. Also, don't do anything weird while we're on vacation, okay? It would be terrible if we came home and the house was in worse condition than we left it, okay? I know.
Megan, are you free to talk right now? Are you about to start your shift or something now?
I don't work today. Enough about that. When are you coming back? You haven't been back here at all lately.
I feel guilty enough as it is for not being back sooner. But I have a job and a family too. I can't go back to the US that easily.
I understand that, but there's no one else to listen to me complain except you. I've been so stressed lately, and it got worse since you haven't been here.
Could it be that my sister is being hard on you again?
You must be a psychic. She's planning a trip for Gracie's upcoming birthday. She wants me to pay for
it. But she says I'm not allowed to go with them.
What? Are you kidding? Oh, she's talking nonsense again, isn't she? As I recall, you started paying for Gracie's expenses and stuff, right?
Yeah, I have. I haven't once heard anyone say thank you for doing it. It seems like I'm supposed to pay for everything my sister needs. Like, it's my responsibility or something. She wants me to pay for the trip for the three of them while continuing paying day-to-day expenses as usual.
I can't believe my sister is acting like that. She's done some questionable stuff, but this is too much. Gracie's birthday is in 6 months, right? There's no way a high school kid like you could save up enough for a vacation for 3 people in that time.
They want me to spend my life savings too, you know? She said it would be enough if we put that together too. Even though she promised I was free to do whatever, as long as I kept paying for Gracie's expenses. Looking at what's happening now, it seems that was a lie.
Is that okay with you? You know it's money you've been saving for your future.
Of course I'm not okay with it. It's all the money I have in the world, and I don't want to touch it if I don't have to. That's why I'm going to start another part-time job in the meantime. It won't cover the total cost, but it'll be better, right?
That may be true, but that's not the point, is it? Things have gotten a whole lot worse than they were before.
But like, what can I do even? I'm still in high school, so it's not like I can leave the house. You also said that I shouldn't drop out of high school.
Yes, I did. I'm against it. No matter how bad things get, don't even think about dropping out. It'll only ruin your future. But this situation is getting out of hand. They aren't treating you like family. It's like you're a slave to them. To be honest, I'm not entirely sure what she's doing is illegal.
But we can't do anything about it, can we? Sure, there are a lot of tough things I have to put up with, but at least I'm still in school.
I fully agree. Hey, remember that plan I told you about before?
Do you mean the escape plan? Yeah, I remember it, but... Well, that was for after I graduated high school, right?
I used to think that was enough time. But now my sister is getting carried away. It's a bit amazing that you've kept your cool throughout all of this. You're really mature for your age. But unfortunately, they might take that as permission to keep taking from you.
Are you saying they might keep asking more from me, as long as I stay with them?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Having you paying everything for your sister, and wanting you to save a lot of money for travel expenses for the 3 of them, that's not what parents should do to their child. It's borderline abuse. If things escalate any further, who knows what they'll say.
You're right. But if we are moving the plans forward, what exactly can you do? I'm sure you have a lot to prepare for.
I considered the possibility of this happening before, so I'm more or less already prepared to get you out of there. I hate to ask you this, but I need to make totally sure. You're definitely graduating, right? There's no possibility of you not being able to finish high school on time?
I'm nearly a straight-A student. I could completely stop going to classes for the last 2 weeks, and I'd be fine. I already requested a rush order of my diploma.
Then we're good to go. Ironically, the timing of them going on this family vacation without you couldn't be better. We can pull off our plan without a hitch. If we get you ready by then, I think we can make it.
That's easy for you to say. I'm just not too sure about everything.
It's going to be fine. You just need to trust me and trust the plan we made. No matter what my sister says, you are not a failure. If anything, you're one of the most mature and strongest people I know. Don't let them assign value to your life.
You're very good at cheering me up.
It's because I mean it.
Thank you. You're the only one who ever says nice things to me. I'll do whatever it takes then. I've got to answer your expectations.
Megan! What's
What's going on? Oh, you're back? Welcome home. Forget that. Why is your room empty? And you didn't do anything I asked you to do. Where are you? And why have you left the house in this state? I'm at home. In England. What? England? What are you talking about? Oh, you don't know, since you cut ties with him? I'm at Uncle Stephen's house. What? How could you possibly be with him right now? How in the world do you know where he is? Wow, you're getting angry, huh? Well, you do kind of hate him, right? Because he was always better than you were and everything? That's not what I'm talking about right now, is it? I'm asking why you're at Stephen's house. I'm not sure why you're asking. Because I'm going to skip a grade and go straight to university in the UK. At the same university where my uncle studied a long time ago. What? You're the one skipping a grade? And to the university where Stephen went to? Yes, I am skipping a grade. And I got my high school diploma for it. I've been studying hard all this time. If you're going to lie, you need to come up with a much better lie. I couldn't even manage to get into the same university as him. How could a failure like you possibly get in? You're not even that smart. I'm not lying. If you don't believe me, I can show you the acceptance letter. In fact, it just came in yesterday. I just finished putting it in a frame in my new room. You're kidding, right? This can't be. A failure like you. If I couldn't do it, there's no way you can. Well, it turns out I'm not as big of a failure as you think I am. I put in the work, and this is the result. When you were a student, that's something you weren't capable of, it seems. And the more I think about it, does this mean that I'm better than you? Excuse me! You think you can make fun of me? Your uncle is making you say all of this anyway, isn't he? Come home now! You really don't have to believe it if you don't want to. But I'll stay here in England. I can't think of a single good reason for me to come back there. But even if I do go back to the States, it will be after I graduate from college. I have some bad news for you. I don't know what Stephen told you, but you can't do that. Even if it's true that you got into that university. And why is that? You need parental consent to get a student visa for a minor. You're obviously too stupid to know that, though. Oh, wow. The irony here is actually crazy. You're obviously too stupid to realize you already took care of that for me. I didn't take care of anything. I didn't even know you were going there. What are you saying? Because you don't even remember signing the parental consent form for the visa, do you? You were signing it right in front of me. I didn't. I would never do such a thing. No, you did. Remember when I asked for you to sign the application for a second part-time job? I guess you didn't check what you were actually signing. You can't be serious right now. Did you lie to me to get me to sign your visa application? Let's calm down a bit. You didn't look at the application I handed to you, by the looks of it. You really didn't notice? That's actually so funny. Stop messing with me. How dare you deceive your mother like that? I had no idea you were such a sneaky little brat. I don't know what I was signing, so it must be invalid. You're the one who should stop messing around. If you signed it, that means you agreed to it. You can't take it back now. Plus, I'm already here, with a visa. It's your fault for not looking it over properly when I gave it to you. Listen to me right now. I'm telling you that visa is invalid because I never willingly consented to it. If I say it's invalid, that means it's invalid. You don't have the right to disobey me. Your life is going to be total hell if you don't listen to me and come back home right now. Home? That's not my home. It's a house where I was treated like a slave. For nearly my entire life in that home, I wasn't treated like family. You said so yourself. Don't talk to me like that. Do you have any idea what's going to happen if you don't keep bringing home money for us? We definitely need you with us. I think I'll pass on that. If my measly part-time job paychecks are what was keeping you guys afloat, you're in real trouble. You should at least, once in your life, figure things out on your own and stop thinking of me as your personal ATM. Well, I'll leave you guys to your family time. See you later. Stephen! How dare you take my daughter away from me? What the hell is wrong with you?
I don't think I ever gave you my contact information.
What does it matter? Will you answer me? How could you take my daughter from me?
If it's about studying abroad, it's what she wants. Don't pretend to be her mom now, after all you've done.
I don't have to pretend because I am her mother. I'm not some stranger. Every parent has the right to interfere and complain about their daughter's life.
You say that even though you treated her like a slave and your own personal money-printing machine. That's some fine parenting skills you have there. If I were your daughter, I would have cut you off a long time ago. You should be thankful she put up with you for as long as she did.
How I raise my child is none of your business. How dare you do such a thing? After all these years, when you are the one who cut me off in the first place.
Yeah, I did cut ties with you. It was one of the best choices I've ever made, if I'm being honest. Even though you are my sister, you are such a terrible person. But I never cut ties with Megan. I don't know how she turned out as good as she did, with you as her mother.
Oh, you've always been such an annoying brother. This is no different than kidnapping.
Did you forget that you signed the consent form? Don't tell me that your precious daughter came to you with something to sign and you didn't even bother to check what you were signing. You can't be serious, right? Are you that careless? Or do you really not care about your daughter that much?
Then let Gracie study abroad too. She's my pride and joy, and she's way better than Megan. Of course, you and Megan should pay for her to study abroad, right? If you do that for me, then I'll forgive you.
No can do. I mean, why should I pay for her to study abroad? She isn't nearly as smart as Megan.
You obviously know nothing. She's a little Einstein. If you have enough money to take care of Megan's study abroad expenses, then there's no problem.
It's not about the money. You expect me to pay to get a selfish niece like Gracie? There is nothing I'd rather do less than have her come here and pay for her on top of it.
Do you have a problem with my lovely Gracie?
You bet I do. All she does is complain. She would hate it here from the second she landed. I don't need someone like that in my life. She's like a carbon copy of you. Plus, I hate to break it to you, but she really isn't that smart to begin with.
If that failure Megan can do it, why can't Gracie do it? Gracie is better than her in every way.
I don't know how you feel about what I'm about to say, but Megan has been working hard for this moment since she was in middle school. She's in a different league from people who have been spoiled, or people who aren't as well gifted as her. Gracie doesn't even compare to even being on the same stage as Megan.
That's just nonsense. Gracie is a genius. That's why, unlike Megan, I've given her the most love and attention. We've put everything we have into that girl, okay?
So what? All that love and attention has turned her into a selfish, snotty little brat. Congratulations. Well done. Are you going to say you neglected Megan because you were too busy worrying about Gracie?
Yes, of course. I couldn't afford to spend time and money on a failure like her.
I can't believe you can call yourself a mother with a straight face. That's absolutely horrible. You guys chose to judge both of them and arbitrarily decide which one was better or worse. Assuming that Megan is a failure, even though she is much better than all of you?
It's not an assumption. Megan is just really not talented. We did nothing wrong. This proves Megan is a bad kid.
Of course you did. It's wrong to discriminate against your children. I can't believe I even have to say that. You don't deserve to be a parent in the first place after all that you've done to her.
It's been months since I've escaped from my parents. Now I live with my uncle and go to college in England. I'm now dealing with cultural differences, environmental changes, and other challenges. I'm not lying when I say it can be pretty tough sometimes. However, to repay my uncle's kindness, I am studying hard to become a respectable adult in the future. My parents are total failures, both at parenting and in life in general. I can't tell you how happy I am that I finally got away from them. My parents basically forced Gracie to go study abroad, saying stuff like, if your failure of a sister can do it, you should be able to do it even better. They were trying to get back at me somehow by getting Gracie to study at a higher level school than the one I'm attending. There was no way that my sister, who had been pampered so much, could keep up with her rigorous studies. I heard that now she just never leaves the house after she managed to fail all of her exams. I feel a little bad, to be honest. Gracie might have had some potential, but it all got stripped away when she was coddled by my parents. She had no opportunity to do anything for herself, and as a result, this is how things ended up. I can't help but think that whether you make the most of your talent or not depends on yourself and the environment around you. No matter how much talent you have, I believe it is impossible to develop that talent without effort. If my parents had spoiled me instead of her, my sister and I would have been in opposite positions. With this in mind, I will not rest carelessly, and instead, I will continue to work hard toward my goals.